morning, millions of Americans wouldn't dream of starting their day without a good cup of coffee, and brewing that perfect cup doesn't have to be difficult. And here to demystify what makes a great cup of coffee is Bob Veselewski, a.k.a. Roaster Rob from Dunn Brothers. Good morning to you, sir.
Brad, nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. Is it Roaster Rob or Roaster Bob?
Roaster Bob.
Roaster Bob.
Yeah, that name got pinned on me about 10 years ago.
And how did that
still
happen?
Here. Just a good friend of mine.
Okay. Well, Dunn Brothers has 32 stores now in the metro area. That's great, and you're going to expand nationally, so very successful. And I was reading through some of the materials that you sent over, and you have a lot of people coming in and saying, you know, what kind of coffee should I use if I'm throwing a dinner party? It's not just a morning drink, right?
No, it's not. And we get that question all the time. What is the best coffee? And it's all about discovering those flavors for yourself. And that's what we're going to do here, show you how to discover the flavors in coffee.
And
it's
you pair
process.
the coffee much like you would food and wine, right?
I don't.
You don't?
A great cup of coffee is a great cup of coffee.
Okay.
Yeah. You find what you really like.
I'm batting 1,000 here this morning, aren't I?
No, that's okay. No, I tend to stay away from suggesting exact things to pair with other.
Well, when I think of how to make coffee, I just use the Mr. Coffee Brewer or whatnot, but you're saying that you should make coffee using a manual filter?
Well, yeah, you know, just like most things in life, the simpler, the better.
I agree with that.
And it's all about just simply adding water to coffee. The most frequently asked question I get is, why can't I make as good a tasting cup of coffee at home as I can get in one of your coffee shops? And really the secret is unlocking coffee's aroma.
Okay. Okay.
And that's what we're going to deal with here. Now,
well,
coffee needs to be fresh to be aromatic. And that's why at Dunn Brothers we roast every day in every one of our stores, just to ensure that freshness. You know, our customers are walking out of that store with coffee beans that are still practically warm out of the roaster. So let's go to it.
All right, and for the best aroma, you use fresh roasted beans, which we have here.
Yeah, it's just roasted yesterday afternoon. But anyway,
you suggest using filtered water as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, if a good quality drinking water is essential. You know, if when in doubt, just buy good bottled water.
All right, well, let's get started.
All right, the simplest device. This is just simplicity at its finest, the French press. The recipe for coffee is somewhat exacting. You need to use about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of coffee for every 6 ounces of water used.
Okay.
Now that might sound like a lot, and I'll get back to that in a moment. But with this, you simply measure out the appropriate amount of coffee you need for the amount of water you would like to use.
And then you heat the water to just short of boiling, right?
Yeah, you don't want to torture coffee with boiling water. Between 100, yeah, no kidding. Between 190 and 200 degrees is actually perfect for freshly roasted coffee. That's all you need to release the aromatics and the flavors. Your steeping time on this should be approximately 3.5 to 4 minutes. The same thing is true with fresh coffee. If you tend to oversteep it, you're not going to bring more flavor and aroma into your cup. All you're going to do is make the coffee bitter and harsh. 3.5, 4 minutes is all that's required. Now, if you decide to use a filtered drip method, and this is what I prefer to use at home, I love the flavor of this type of filtered coffee, the recipe is the same. 1.5, 2 tablespoons, same temperature water, but the process is a little different. I'm going to have you make a cup for yourself here. I see you've been drinking...
Drinking what?
Yeah, well, you're going to have a little more here.
Of course, the truly perfect cup of coffee has an ingredient that we can't use here this morning.
Well, okay.
All right.
We'll talk about that later.
So just pour this in?
No. Well, to a certain degree. What you want to do is just saturate the ground slightly with water. Now, this is the most important step when using a filter machine.
Just slightly?
Just a little bit.
Want me to go ahead?
Yeah. What's happening now is the coffee is blooming, if you will.
Right.
It's absorbing the water. It's becoming soluble.
Okay.
And then you just let this sit for about 35, 40 seconds. Now, this isn't wasted time. The aroma coming off of these wet grounds is absolutely amazing. After about 35, 40 seconds, continue pouring water over the grounds. I have a little bit bigger picture here, but and what I like to do is keep a constant stream of water going. It's very important that you keep the grounds in suspension with the water. If it starts getting a little high on here, just back off for a moment. But don't allow the filter or the grounds at this point to the water to drain all the way through and the grounds to pack against the side of the filter. Just keep the water going through.
And generally, how long does this take?
On a one cupper like that, you know, you're looking at maybe a minute.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah, and then a pot this size, possibly 3 to 4 minutes. Once again, if you're finding this water is not flowing through the coffee quick enough, you're using too fine of a grind. Don't be afraid to experiment with your grind settings.
Okay, we're almost out of time,
right.
but could you show me how the French press works?
Absolutely, and we're just about done. This is it right here. Press it down.
And how long do you wait before you do that?
3.5 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then press it down. What you're doing now is separating the grounds from the liquid.
Oh, that looks great.
And that's
it smells great too.
What we've done here is we've created a cup of coffee that's intense in aroma. The flavors are deep and rich. But it might be a little strong to most people's liking.
Oh, the stronger the better, I think.
If it is a bit strong, just take some more hot water. You already have your hot water on the stove. Just dilute it slightly.
Okay.
This is the same as like turning your stereo down. You're not changing the music. You're just making it softer.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with me.
Pleasure.
You know your coffee, pal, let me tell you. For Roaster Bob's coffee recipes and free Dunn Brothers coupons, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address on your screen. Roaster Bob, care of Dunn Brothers, 111 3rd Avenue South, Suite 160, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55401. And you can also check out DunnBrothers.com for store locations.
Thank you, Roaster Bob.
Yeah, thank you.
This is good
I
stuff.
French press my coffee every morning.
Do you?
And I grind my own beans. I can't have it any other way.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is for me, wasn't it? Thank you so much. Okay. It's time now for what, Bradley?
First birthdays.
We're going to start this morning by wishing Emily Frances Hiles from Mora a very happy first birthday. Emily loves to swim in her pool, listen to music, and chase her grandma's pets. Happy birthday, sweetie.
And a big birthday wish goes out to Kyla Weathers. Kyla likes to be outside and go on hikes with her mom and grandpa. Happy birthday, Kyla.
Let's wish a very happy first birthday to this little cutie. She is Lucia Colleen Telleria. Thank you, Bradley.
You're welcome.
Lucia loves to play with her big sister and play with her rubber ducks in the bathtub. Happy birthday, Lucia.
And happy first birthday to Griffin Almquist. Griffin loves to eat cookies, don't we all? Give hugs and kisses and play with his two big brothers. Happy birthday, Griffin, and to everyone else celebrating a birthday today.
Coming up next on Care 11 Today, find out how you can look your best, all while helping breast cancer research. We're going to give you the scoop on that.
And later, he'll hear how pasta might be the secret weapon to completing the Twin Cities Marathon. We'll be right back after this.